So last year, actually 912,000 people decided to build a home. And most people building homes like to hire an interior designer to just make that building process easier for them. So through my internship this semester, I learned all the ins and outs of interior design, and I now know what building a home may look like or even remodeling a home. So at my internship, I interned at Thomas Gray Interiors. It's downtown. It's at a really cool place. I loved it. It's locally owned here in Wichita and independently owned by Rachel Thomas. And she opened it in 2012, so it's a newer business, but so far it's been really successful. And since 2017, she's had over like 32 awards and certifications, and it's now one of the top interior design firms in Wichita. So here's the team. It's a very small team, but honestly that's what I like more, and I feel like things get done better because of how small the team is, and they have a great bond together too. So over here on the left is Rachel, and she's the founder, and she's a designer, and she actually specializes more in residential design. So residential design would be like your house, an apartment, somewhere that like you're living in. And Lisa over here, she actually lives in Annandale. Her kids go to Annandale, and she's a designer who works for Rachel, and she actually specializes in commercial design. So like office buildings, if she wanted to design the inside of a school, a dental office, the list goes on. She actually showed me one of the dental offices that she was designing the inside of, and I kind of just had no idea that they actually needed interior designers for places other than a house, which I was actually really interested in. And although there's only like 2 designers here, we also work with so many different people. So we work with a handful of different contractors and builders with different projects all the time. And we also work with like different vendors that give us products. So whenever we need tile or stone, carpet, we have like people that just give it to us because we are in a partnership with them. So through my internship, I had very many different tasks. And one of the main thing I did was client profiles. So here's an example of a client profile I did. So Rachel gave me, she said, okay, here's Jill Miller. She needs to redo her kitchen and master bathroom. Everything from the floor to the lighting fixture, everything had to be different. And I knew that she wanted a modern house and she was 30 years old, so something that's more trendy look. So I went in and I picked everything out. I picked floors, countertops, even like sink faucets, everything you can think of that's in a house. I went and picked out, made sure it looked good together. Rachel would go over it with me, and she would actually, if she didn't like something, she would critique me. So I was learning and being useful at the same time, which is something I really appreciated about my internship. So I did a few of these, and I really loved doing them because it made me feel like I was an interior designer without any of the schooling. It was really amazing. And every Monday we would have meetings, so kind of just like a team meeting, so I would observe them. And one thing that really helped me, because we would do a meeting for what the whole week would look like, and every single week was different, which is something that I wanted in a future career. I don't want every day to be the same, and in those meetings I found out no day is going to be the same, no week is going to be the same, and that's something that really excited me about doing this in my future. And another thing with observing meetings, I got to see like how we would meet with contractors, and we would work with the same few. And I got to see how designers and contractors form a relationship, how they work on certain projects together, and how they make that project the best thing it could be for the client. So another thing I would do is put together presentations like this one, but Rachel would already have everything picked out. I would just have to put it together and make it look nice for the client. Or I would just do a little presentation of like faucets and like appliances like that, nothing too crazy. And overall, they just let me be a designer and have fun. And that was one of my tasks. Like over here, she wanted something fun for the wall at the shop, so she said pick things out, have fun with it, and I created stuff like that. They would also just let me go to meetings at like Star Lumber and pick out different samples for, like there was one time it was like a powder bathroom, and I had to pick out the flooring, backsplash, countertop, everything. So I would go to Star Lumber with them, pick stuff out, and they actually liked it, and it's going to be actually used in a home. So there's a lot of different skills that actually goes into interior design. So I feel like the main one, and the one that was toughest for me, is decision making. it's hard for me to make a decision. I'm very indecisive. I want to make the decision that everybody else likes, and that's something that I worked on changing. Because, I mean, you are hired there to make decisions. You aren't hired there to ask the client what they think looks better. You're there to tell them what you think looks better. So that's something that I worked on, and it does take a lot of time and practice, but you just have to be confident in what you're telling your client. So a skill I learned is design, obviously, and I feel like they've given me a pretty good basic training on interior design. They've taught me undertones, what colors look good together. Like, you would be so surprised at how many different shades of white there are. Like, there's probably like 100 different shades of white. And they tell me what trendy looks are right now and timeless looks that will forever look good. And I know there's so much more to learn, that's why I'm going to college for it, but I feel like they've given me the good basic rundown of interior design. Communication is another really good skill to have. Your client hires you to make their house perfect, and in order for their house to be perfect for them, you have to communicate with them. You can't just go in there and choose what you think looks good. You have to communicate on what their style is, what they would want in their home, because they're there paying you to do that. And another one is teamwork. You'd be surprised at how much teamwork actually goes into being a designer. Like I said earlier, it's teamwork with contractors, builders. They form a good relationship with designers to make the project as good as it can be. And also teamwork with other designers. There'll be like times when Rachel needs Lisa's help, and times when Lisa needs Rachel's help, and everyone just works together, and it's going to just make the project better. So my most memorable day would have to be when Rachel sat me down and offered me a job position this summer, something I was very, very excited for, because I was really hoping she would offer me one, because I didn't want to leave, because I loved this whole internship. And here are different pictures of things that I did while I was an intern, and things I'm going to continue to do this summer. So here was a laundry room, and laundry rooms are times where designers can have fun, throw in a little bit of personality. So this was the floor, trim, countertop, and backsplash, things that I all picked out and is being used in a home, which I think is really super cool. And these are other things. I'll go to Star Lumber with them, pick out things, throw in my opinion, and if I like them, they'll use them. If they don't, they'll teach me why they don't like it. And so it's kind of like I'm learning and working at the same time, which is something that I really admire. So while I was interning, Thomas Gray Interiors collaborated with a local artist here in Wichita. Her name was Flavia, and she had really fun, different art that everyone really loved. So anyone in Wichita, we were open for 3 days. They could come in, buy the art, and Thomas Gray actually got a percentage of some of the art because we let them use our space for their showcase. And I worked there one of the nights as the front desk person. She paid me for it. It was awesome. And it was a lot of fun, and it was a really, really cool experience. I'm glad I got to do that while I was interning. And here's a picture. It's really blurry, but I was in a Splurge magazine. That was from the night of the showcase. Got my picture taken from the magazine. They spelled my name wrong, but we're just going to ignore that because I thought it was cool anyways. So there's me and Rachel. That will be my boss this summer. So post-secondary plans. So I am going to Kansas State University to major in interior design. And the interior design program up at K-State is really good. It's one of the top 10 in the country, and you have to be actually accepted to be in there, and I did, which is something I'm very proud of. So I'm very excited to be going there in the fall. And in the meantime, I'm going to be working at Thomas Gray Interiors with Rachel this summer, and I just think it's super cool that I can already be working in the career path that I'm wanting to go into without having any education. I feel ahead of a lot of the people wanting to be an interior designer, so I'm very, very thankful that she offered me a job position. And I just wanted to say thank you to Miss Burkamp, because I now have the dream career I want, all thanks to you, so I wanted to say thank you. I feel very just ahead of, I already have my one foot step into being a designer, and I'm very, very excited for it. And I want to say thank you to my mentors, because they have been amazing in teaching me everything that they know, and again, offering me a job. I'm so excited to be there this summer, and I couldn't have asked for any better mentors. Thank you.
That was really good.
That was really good.
Hey, thanks. Appreciate you.